Thank you very much, Trout. Mike Stafford live in an hour. So
here, sit back here.
Yes. Or correspondence between physician to physician.
Hey, I mean, are you standing about that?
Yes, I am. I don't have any interest in supplying recreational smokers because they cause the problem. Because they're the only ones that have disposable income to go into the black marketplace and buy anything that's available. Unfortunately, us sick people get screwed in the process because we can't afford to compete with a black market situation. Because we don't have the disposable income to be able to live on.
Thanks, man.
It's quite an interesting decision because it comes down hard on the judge.
Oh, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
For good reason.
Oh, very much so.
So, Brian, can I just get you to sit up so that you're sort of sitting straight so I can see where you're going to be sitting?
Grant, I think the best thing to do is when you get your answers as well, maybe try and look.
You know, I'm going to stand. I'll stand here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll look in the middle.
Yeah.
Look at me. I'll be standing between the two cameras.
Yeah. If you can do that.
Right here. Well, you ready?
Yeah. You bet.
What was your first impression when you heard it?
I was happy. I was excited. I finally have a trial to be able, or a benefit to be able to get a trial by my peers. I'm not interested in a judge's decision. I'm interested in my peers. And if the judge takes away a jury's decision, there is no jury trial. I want to be tried by my peers. And the Supreme Court this morning agreed with me that the judge infringed upon my rights of a jury trial by instructing the jury to find me guilty. Sorry.
That's okay. I don't expect this going off all day.
Do you have my new address? Well, I might have. I'm not sure when the last time I saw you was. Oh, that's okay. It's been a while. It's 4409. About that judges, all that stuff about judges. Yeah, it's got blue bindings on it for court. No, not yet. Take a look. Oh yeah, that's no problem. Okay, Joy. Okay, ciao. Here, Keith, you want to answer this thing? I'm just going to put on black.
Yeah, the poor guy's been pretty crazy here.
Okay, so what do you hope to find? What do you hope to have happen?
I hope to be able to have a jury trial and let them decide whether I've done any harm to any kind of people involved in these laws. It's the only way society can speak as a general about existing laws is through juries, and if they aren't able to voice their opinion, a jury trial is totally useless.
You hoping to set new law here?
I am hoping to change laws for the sick, the injured, and the dying, because those people are very special and near and dear to my heart. And everybody, our Charter of Rights guarantees us the best quality of life while we live in this nation. However, the government doesn't give it to us, the doctors don't give it to us, and the judicial system doesn't give it to us.
You know, you must have heard from some of these people too. There's a certain group of people out there, a certain part of society that knows your name and just thinks, there's a guy that just wants to smoke them. What do you say to those people?
Walk a mile in my shoes and see what you'd be doing. I've spent 10 years in the court system trying to change laws for the sick. What Bill C-8 states is What about the medical use of marijuana? To date, no sponsor has come forward with the required medical evidence to prove it's safe and effective for claimed use. In this manner, cocaine and heroin have received approval for use under specific conditions in this nation. To date, no sponsors come forward for marijuana. When I was in court and I received the Court of Queen's Bench Judges Darlene Acton's permission to cultivate and possess what I need to with no quantities attached to it, that proved safe medical use in my mind, because otherwise she wouldn't have given me that exemption.
Problem isn't with you using it or growing it for yourself, though. It's with you giving it to other people, according to the law.
Right.
You're going to continue to do that?
Yes. Our laws make me a criminal, and all I do is help sick, injured, and dying people for a better quality of life. What's wrong with that?
You're going to continue?
Yes, I would. I have no choice but to. My own brother passed away a couple of years ago, and when he was in the hospital, all he saw in his hospital room was a chicken with a saddle on it. He saw rats and he saw snakes. And I went down and I spent a couple of weeks with him, and I started feeding him Nanaimo bars with cannabis butter inside. And at the end of a couple of weeks, you could actually sit and have a conversation with my brother, and he was in a normal, he wasn't seeing the stuff walking around his room anymore. It was enjoyable to talk to him in his final days. I wish I could go back in time and turn it back to when my parents passed away, because I'd do the same thing for them.
I'm going to go back to my first question. Just give me a sense of what happened when you, what ran through your mind, or what the scene was when you got the call. How did you find out?
Well, my lawyer, John Hooker, called last night and told me the Supreme Court were possibly releasing their decision today, and he'd get back to me. And the Supreme Court did release its decision, and my phone started ringing from radio and television stations telling me that I won. I'd come over here to visit my friend Keith and use his house for interviews, and I have the copy of the decision in front of me, which I'm reading now, and they come down hard on that judge because he took away the jury's decision. He made it himself.
What did you think when you heard it in court, when you heard him tell the jury that, when you heard it in court that?
Well, I was upset, but my next words after everything was said and done to my lawyer was file the appeal, and the appeal was filed. How many people do you know that will appeal a one-day time served, weigh scales returned sentence? Nobody appeals that because they've gotten away. I didn't. I appealed because I didn't want the judge's decision. I wanted a jury's decision. I wanted trial by my peers. Let them decide if I've done anything wrong, or is it the laws that are wrong?
Any questions?
No.
That's it.
It covers both of you guys?
Yeah. I'm just going to get you to maybe stay there and read over this.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people have asked you to light up today.
Actually, no one.
Yet.
If I ask you to, will you?
Oh, I could probably arrange something for you. Don't have any problems with it. I just have to find one.
So, when you were growing your own, would your house be considered a grow-up?
Yes, it was.
So how would that affect your property? Because they have this rule now in Calgary that that place can't be resold and all that kind of stuff if it's a grow-up.
Also, I never had any mold inside my house.
No, but just the fact that there's marijuana growing in a house now under the new city bylaw means you can't resell the property anymore.
I know, that's why.
Without full disclosure.
Right,
You have to disclose that it has a grow up.
right.
Okay.
But I'm just wondering how that would have worked for you.
You said blood's thicker than water.
Really?
It's a joke.
Wow. Anyway, if I can get you
Oh yeah,
looking through the documents there.
My kids were in car accidents, and with their settlements they got a house in Aaron Circle, and I was living there. But then insurance problems cropped up, and my daughter evicted me back in December. And then the boys came along and evicted me in May. So at that point I had to move. And where I moved to, it isn't good for leaving the house because I live in amongst a bunch of, excuse the expression, crack and meth heads, and I don't trust them.
I heard you say your address on the phone there. Yeah, I know that neck of the woods.
Yeah, it's not good.
We're there a lot for our
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, I bet.
But
Yeah,
you know, I like this right here. The trial judge's direction was not a slip of the tongue to be evaluated in context of the charge as a whole.